I think the world ended in 2012. Okay? Now, a couple things happened. For one, you guys know about CERN, right?
No.
Okay, CERN, the Hydrogen Collider. And what that is they discovered the God particle through that. And they've been doing tests since this thing is fired up that have to do with what makes up the universe, the secrets of the universe, right? So since this thing has fired up in 2012, they said in theory it could have collapsed time itself or Earth, or ended the Earth from what we know it, right? Because they're smashing atoms together and doing all these different things. So that fired up in 2012. What movie was about a world-ending event?
2012?
2012. Okay. So after all that, I think after 2012, other timelines have been colliding with each other, right? So the world we knew ended. And now what we're seeing is layers of different realities happening. So to that point, that lady may be from somewhere, another timeline that's not from ours, that bled into ours and then disappeared. Now there's another story about something similar happening back in the 50s. This guy came into the airport and they were like, this place doesn't exist. Same thing. I believe it might have been the same place. It sounded very eerily similar to that. He had a passport. He said, hey, I'm from here. It's in between here and here, somewhere in Europe. Never existed. And then they locked him in a room, interrogated him for hours. And then they leave and they come back. They locked him up. He's still in the room. He's gone.
It's the same thing that happened to the lady. It's the same thing that happened to the lady.
Same thing.
They don't know where she is?
They said she disappeared.
Disappeared in the room. They locked the room.
And then allegedly they found her somewhere else on the street, but it was just it wasn't her anymore.
So I think that's what we're seeing. Because again, because we could come up with theories and all this other stuff, but I try to connect the dots in, you know, what reality and documented evidence and what things are actually happening. Because if you look into CERN, that is happening. That is real.
Bro, have you ever wondered why pigs have eyes that look like human eyes? I guess their eyes do look like human eyes. Oh, why? This might blow your mind, and I read it somewhere. So you know how in the Bible Jesus casted out a legion of demons into pigs? They didn't want to go to hell, so he casted them into pigs? Wait a minute. Is that why Jesus calls pork filthy? I'm not sure, but something else. Pigs aren't able to look up into the sky. Their bodies won't allow them to look up. Almost like it implies they can't look up to heaven. Okay, whoa. And it's not just that. This next one's gonna sound weird. I know it's gonna sound weird. But they have interviewed cannibal serial killers before, and when asked what human flesh tastes like, they say it tastes like pork. Wait. So you're trying to say that pigs are actually...
Do you want to talk about the Jesus and the Lucifer thing so we can get into? Because again, Jesus, Lucifer, Anunnaki, alien.
Let's talk about it. If that's where we going, let's talk about it.
All right. So Jesus and Lucifer. Again, people think that that's two different people. It's the same person. That's the reason why their birthday is the same. Same birthday. Again, whenever you think about how they talk about language, there was not a J, or back then, you know, only thing that was there was an L. So every time that I would say Lucifer's enemies created the Bible and created a scroll, they changed his name and renamed him, which that's the way that they can control his energy, putting it in English content as well. So who Lucifer is, let me say this. He was the first lieutenant on the Anunnaki spaceship with Uman-Ra, the Egyptian gods. When they first came here, they came here to mine gold. They came here with the Anunnakis and the reptilians and giants.
So they were all cool back then?
So Anunnaki and the reptilians are cousins. So is the Grey. So now you're going to understand bloodline battles. Do you understand bloodline battles now? This has been a bloodline battle thing for a long time. So what originally happened was the reason why Lucifer became a fallen angel is because he fell in love with Lilith. Lilith was reptilian bloodline. Back then, when you're thinking about species, aliens, you're not supposed to crossbreed. You're supposed to keep your blood as pure as possible.
Everything they ever have told us is a lie. They tell us that our heart is a pump. Your heart is not a pump. Your heart is a valve. Your lungs is a pump that pumps the blood to the heart. The heart is a valve mechanism that controls the cardio output of blood. Everything they tell us about everything is a lie. They tell you your hair is just hair. No, our hair is non-ether hair. It is actually an extension of your nervous system. It is used to scan the environment, and it brings all of these different melanin neurotransmitters back to your skin to tell you whether to actually engage in the environment or take fight or flight and run away. That's why you get gut feelings. That's why when you see paranormal activities, the hair on your skin stand up. So everything that they ever told us about ourselves is a lie. But it's cool because they don't know who we are. So if we study ourselves and we unlock our junk DNA by eating the right foods we're supposed to be eating, we can awaken something called the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is this infinite, endless library inside of your DNA. Your DNA is literally like a hard drive. It holds trillions and trillions and trillions of information. And you have literally a DNA fragment in each of your cells. Remember, you have 150 trillion cells in your body. Every cell have its own coil of histines and DNA. Each of these DNAs, if you were able to lay it out, it will fill 600 million page books. That's how much information in you, and we not even tapping into 1% of it because of the environment and what we're eating. So if we just start with the food and change our diets into livids, it would allow us to express who we truly are. And once you find out who you are, can't nobody tell you nothing different about you.
That's why they removed copper from swimming pools, because they realized that copper was so antibacterial that it was completely purifying the water that the people were swimming in without all of the harmful effects of chlorine, which we also know is a trillion-dollar industry. But also, when the copper was rested in the swimming pools, copper ions were being absorbed into the water, which hold an electrical charge. Therefore, when people were swimming in these pools, their bodies were absorbing this charged water, and we are electrical beings. Therefore, the water that they were swimming in and bathing in was instantaneously healing their bodies. And so if you then think about copper pipes, which are being completely erased, it then makes perfect sense, because the elites realize that when water flows through copper pipes, that water then becomes charged water, creating some of the most powerful water in the world, purifying it to a level no other material can match. This is another reason why farmers would place copper in their livestock's water bowls, because they knew that the copper would keep the water completely pure and charge the water.
Santa Claus is actually one of the original Kukuis, actually.
Santa?
Oh yeah, Santa. You ever heard of Krampus?
Yep, of course.
Yeah, you ever look at the old pictures? Krampus kidnaps children. He's got like a basket.
You got kids hanging, but all kind of stuff.
Yeah, Krampus. Yeah, that's the Kukui monster, bro. That's Santa Claus. That's the origin of it. Like, there's more to that story. I can tell you a crazy story if you really want to break that down.
Let's get it. That'll be one of the last things we talk about. Let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah, okay.
I think that there's so many people that celebrate Christmas, so let's talk about it.
Well, okay, so the story of Christmas, you can type this in, Gentil, Gentile, okay? These are the Gentile, which is typically people think means non-Jew. And there's like a whole lot. It means demon, jinn is the Arabic word, jinn, genie, jinn, Gentile, giantile, giant, and then ent, or enter, like the ents from Lord of the Rings, those giants. Giant. Okay, so these are all the same etymological root word connection. Okay.
According to the Akashic Records, what is the spiritual truth of ADHD?
According to the Akashic Records, ADHD is not a flaw, but an evolutionary adaptation of consciousness. It reflects a soul that operates in a non-linear, multi-dimensional, and high-frequency way, not easily fitting into rigid linear structures. Individuals with ADHD are often tuned into multiple planes of awareness simultaneously, receiving rapid streams of information from both physical and non-physical realms. This expanded consciousness may appear as distraction, but is actually a form of hyperperception. Their brains are designed to move fast, think creatively, and connect patterns spontaneously, which can be challenging in conventional environments. Spiritually, they are here to disrupt outdated systems and bring forth new, innovative ways of thinking and learning, coming as grid shifters and system busters, challenging the status quo and reminding others that structure must evolve. They are not here to fit in, but to help build new paradigms through their movement, creativity, and unique intelligence. Emotional sensitivity and nervous system, these individuals often experience emotional highs and lows and a highly stimulated nervous system. This reflects a light body that's spinning faster than the collective norm, needing practices that help root and channel their high energy constructively. Often these souls incarnate into lineages or families where creativity, truth, or freedom was suppressed. They come to help break old patterns and bring in new ways of being.
Remember this?
Yes.
Because this before my time, clearly.
And 82. I was born in 82. So I remember everything. That's why I tell everybody when they meet me that the 80s babies is here to bring down the system. Because at that time, the dome was deteriorating.
See, hold on. You might be going too far already. What you mean dome?
The dome that we're in. I want to say, I call it like a little snow glass. You know that
Snow
little
globe
thing
thing,
yes, that that's what we're
shaking
in.
it, yeah.
Or even more deeper than that little board game bobble, and you have to bobble and it has the little bubbles and it's all around across. That's exactly what we're set up in.
So you saying it's multiple places with the dome over them?
Yep.
So is this the real Egypt?
Yes. Think about it. Malcolm X, when he went to Egypt, he came back and said, that's not them. That's us on them statues. We the true Egyptians.
Who was the true Egyptians?
At that time, they were saying African American, but it's the copper-colored Indians.
So is this the real Egypt?
Yes. Mississippi is Nile River. Texas is the second largest state, right? Texas was all the states that was around it. So if Texas was a part of all that, Egypt. That's why it takes so long for Texas to change their laws, because they know they have the most majority of gods and goddesses. And you thinking about San Antonio, Austin area, all this is tied.
I wonder if that's why I was drawn here.
Yeah, it's the city of gods.
You all need to hear this. This is a live witch. She is going to explain the truth about liquor and alcohol, everything getting brought to the light over here on this channel and on this side. So y'all smash that follow button. Y'all listen to what she got to say. And you might want to stop blowing your money on liquor.
Alcohol is called what? Spirits. And the reason it's called that is because when you drink it, it numbs your body and makes you, go numb in the mind.
Listen.
And it allows these different spirits that are just waiting for a vessel to temporarily jump in and do whatever they want.
This ain't a reach.
That's why a lot of people do some shit, be like, I don't remember that at all. It's because it wasn't you. Anyway, so he had been drinking.
Hold on, say that one more time.
Say it again.
So when you drink, people drink and get real drunk, and they'll say the next day,
they'll black out.
Black out.
That's the word I always hear. I blacked out.
Spirit came.
I have some serious ass stories about that. And they'll go, I don't remember none of that. It's because it wasn't them. Temporarily, it allowed these, twisted spirits to jump in, do some fucked up shit, jump back out. They jump all over the place.
People end up pregnant, killing somebody, hurting somebody, saying something they shouldn't have said.
Now, y'all just heard the reason why y'all blacked out and you didn't remember nothing. You blacked out and didn't remember nothing because of an unclean spirit. Let this be a warning and let this educate you on the dangers of drinking too much alcohol and liquor. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, and long as you see this face, I'm going to let you know that everything is spiritual. These unclean spirits, they use your vessel when your body is numb to do the sinful deed through your body, because demonic spirits, they need a body to occupy. And when you and I do things that is sinful, we open the door for these unclean, twisted spirits, like this witch said, to enter into our vessel and use us. And then when it's done using us, using our vessel, it goes away. And then you're like, oh, what happened? Y'all, spiritual warfare we are in. Wake up.
You want to know what it is? It's the Rockefellers. Having our public education system bought and paid for decades. You know, there's a good reason they don't teach you business in public school. There's a good reason they don't teach you to file your taxes. It's because the Rockefellers just want good little manufacturers. Obedient little employees already subscribe to the idea of a 9-to-5. Raise your hand to go to the bathroom. Please, sir, can I have some more? No! No, you can't have any more! You know what it is? You know what it is? It's the Rothschilds. Once upon a time, requesting a Federal Reserve, the richest people in the world said nay. Said, actually. And the Rothschilds responded with, do you guys like cruise ships? It's that through all of the atrocity, through all of the corruption, we're supposed to sit here and act like the world that the system built, the world that the billionaires and the people in power built is made for us, and it's not. And what's more is in the modern day we're all supposed to just sit here like good little girls and goyams for Big Daddy Netanyahu while he fights a Zionist war on the other side of an ocean on our blood and our flesh, our taxpayer dollar. Why? Because we're all just sacrificial lambs, rats in a cage, running around looking for the cheese. Well, you know what? I think it's time we band together and find it.
That bat was heading for those kids. The dad reached across. It was going right for the kids, and he saved them. Unbelievable play by that fan right there. It was going right for those two kids. I watched the whole thing. That dad's a hero.
What is a soul contract?
So once Lucifer and Lilith made a thing, some of the Anunnaki, the reptilians, went with Lucifer, got stuck here on Earth, and created a race.
What race is that?
I'm just gonna say the human race. Aliens turning into human race, but it was a long process. In the Bible, a long time ago, it used to say, he told Jesus, they will betray you. And what he meant by that was the reptilians are going to betray you. And they did. Lucifer lost his soul, and it was the Anunnaki that had to come back and retrieve it. But the only way we can retrieve it was going into a human experiment, crossbreeding, because they were the superior race. The Anunnaki was the superior race. The Egyptian goddess were the superior race. Think about Mesopotamia. Yeah, they're half human and half animal. And then the Egyptians are human, but they also have these bird faces, but that was part of their shape-shifting. So think about how the Indians moved. They knew that they were the totem poles. All those totem poles back then, wolves, hawks, things that they can transform into.
Holy shit. What does everybody see when they go to the movies? These stars wrapped around the mountain, and we always see Paramount. Did you know this about stars? And this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Save this video, share this video. Curious to know your thoughts.
Spinning ball going through outer space, but also at the same time you believe in falling stars. Well, if there's no gravity in space, how does a star fall? Why doesn't it go sideways or up? Why does it always fall down if there's no gravity in space? Okay, well, for one, there's no space. Now, here's the answer for my truthers out there. Now, the Testament of Solomon, just like the Book of Enoch, all these books were stripped from the Bible because they tell us what all these things are that surround us on this earth and what's going on up in the heavens and how everything is made. So, with that being said, let's look and see what Scripture says falling stars are. Okay, Solomon 1:13. And when they were gone, I ordered Omias to be brought forward and said to him, tell me how you know this. And he answered, we demons ascend into the firmament of heaven and fly about among the stars, and we hear the sentences which go forth upon the souls of men, and forthwith we come, and whether by force of influence, or by fire, or by sword, or by some accident, we veil our act of destruction. And if a man does not die of some untimely disaster or by violence, then we demons transform ourselves in such a way to appear to men and be worshipped in our human nature. Therefore, having heard this glorified the Lord God. And again I questioned the demons, saying, tell me how you can ascend into heaven, being demons, and amidst the stars and the holy angels intermingle. And he answered, just as things are fulfilled in heaven, so also on earth are fulfilled the types of all of them. For there are principalities, authorities, world rulers, and we demons fly about in the air, and we hear the voices of the heavenly beings and survey all powers, as having no ground or basis on which to alight and rest, we lose strength and fall off like leaves from trees, and men, seeing us, imagine that the stars are falling from heaven. But it is not really so, King, but we fall because of our weakness, and because we have nowhere anything to lay hold of. And so we fall down like lightnings in the depth of night, and suddenly, and we set cities in flames and fire into fields. For the stars have firm foundations into heaven, like the sun and the moon. Now, did you pay attention to what that said right there? For the stars have firm foundations into heaven, like the sun and moon, which means they can't fall. They are firmly put there for eternity. Stars do not fall. Demons fall, and I just showed you that in Scripture. It's really, really simple. You're being lied to about your whole reality, and I'm trying to teach you the real reality. It's time to wake up and quit believing these lies that these people have been feeding to you for centuries now. And what you got to ask yourself is, why all the books that were stripped from the Bible are the books that explain to us everything that's going on in the sky and what all these things are made and how they were made. And ain't it funny that all those were stripped from the Bible, and the only information you were given about everything up in the sky and all around you now is given to you by NASA? These are not fallen stars. These are the demons, the evil spirits, bound here for eternity until a judgment day. Stars are angels, just as Scripture of Enoch says. And that is why it's called a falling star. And they even hide it in the intro of Paramount movies, the fallen angels descending on Mount Hermon.
The book of Enoch, chapter 6. And the angels, the children of the heaven. And there were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they swore and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it.
Now the stars will fall from the sky someday at the end of times, like the book of Revelation says. But the ones that you see in this day and time that you think are falling from the sky, those are demons.
Why is cussing negative, bad?
It's not cussing, bro. It's cursing.
So these specific words that are considered cussing are truly cursing.
They're evocations of demons. There's a demon named Faku. What's that sound like? When you chant his name like 3 times, which is why they want you to use that word as a noun, an adjective, and a verb in the same sentence, demons hear you. They want to show up. It's a spirit of perversion that you're evoking. So like a lot of times, if you say the F word a lot, guess what? You're going to have a whole lot of perversion in your life. You probably watch porn. You're probably surrounded by lust. Yeah, it's because you say the F word.
The food we eat tend to create parasites.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Parasites considered demonic.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Parasites are like a physical embodiment of demons, I think. I question whether parasites themselves are demons or if they're just simple organisms that are easily possessed by demons.
How important is it to fast?
So if God tells you to fast, cool, fast. The Bible tells you to fast, whatever. It doesn't say, it says when you fast in the Bible. It doesn't give you a direction to fast.
How many cows are to go around for the fast food industry?
How many cows?
The math doesn't add up. Okay. Just the fast food industry, just McDonald's alone produces 6.5 million burgers per day. And there's enough cows to go around? If you test the meat in Taco Bell, it's barely beef like at all. 70%. So we're talking 30+% of something else. Just saying.
You think they're feeding us humans?
That's what Putin said. Putin said if they knew what they were eating, they would go crazy. In which you would, because actually, if you look into human beings eating other human beings, it actually causes brain damage. So this is why everybody's wigging out right now. Because if you're eating fast food, I'll say allegedly, you might be not eating a cow. Just saying. I would watch for Barron because here's the thing. There's also another book called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Ingersoll Lockwood wrote this book too in the late 1800s, depicting this character.
When they picked those same names.
Yes.
Barron Trump.
Barron Trump. That is a book. Yes. Ingersoll Lockwood wrote both these books. Right?
In the 1800s.
Yes. I believe it was like 1893, 1896, something like that.
Then there has to be time travelers.
Well, here's the thing. In the book, Barron Trump is a time traveler. No bullshit. All this is in the book, you guys. And guess what? So he time travels, right? He has a mentor named Don. This is in the book. So, here's the theory that Trump...
The Bible tells you specifically who Lucifer is, and he's not the devil. The Bible says Lucifer is Jesus. Jesus is Lucifer. That's in the scriptures. Go to any good seminary library and get the encyclopedias and dictionaries of Christian religion and look up the word Lucifer, and it will tell you Lucifer is Jesus.
How many times have people claimed that they'll be thinking something and then an ad will pop up on Facebook or...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
all
then-
the time. 100%. It happens all the time. Literally, when you started looking up your little like caffeine pouches or whatever, I never searched for it or anything, and the ads started popping up on my phone like every freaking other ad. I'm like, dude, come on.
Out of the two of us, I'm probably the more unhinged. I am one of these people that believes that absolutely, not only is your phone listening, but there might be even more to it that we
But
really
that's
don't
not
know.
even listening. That's...
Yeah.
I didn't even speak on it yet.
Yeah.
I want to know how many people that are watching this have had something like that happen where you've had a thought and it popped up on an ad on a YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is, because I'm sure there are millions of people that this has happened to.
Yeah.
This shit is so crazy. All right, I want to talk about something. Explain to me what is it called? Let me see. I had it written down. CE5.
If you're not watching Mr. Mountain Beast on here, he's got some great videos. Hiked all the way up 21 days deep into the Grand Canyon. Something that I wish to do one day. If I would have never had kids and I would have never got married, I would have did what he did. But I got a business to run and I got responsibilities, so I can't just disappear for a couple of months. But he hiked into the Grand Canyon and found why the Grand Canyon is blocked, because there's artifacts, there's carvings, there's stuff there that's not supposed to be there, that wasn't in the history books, and he's exposing it all, and it's awesome. Props to that man. He's also on the tube, and I think everybody should be following that guy and just understand how much they lied to us as American citizens and what was really there, what really happened. If you see the stuff that he's showing, it's mind-blowing. How did they do it? How did they carve tunnels through mountains, through canyons? I don't know. Go watch his stuff. Mr. Mountain Beast.